The All-American Alarm Clock. Radio Oz.
Radio Oz is on the air. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman who lived with his wife in a little cold, damp hut close by the sea. Every day the fisherman went out fishing. One morning he sat on the shore watching his rod and reel and bobbing his line when all of a sudden his line was dragged away deep under the sea. It took all of his strength to finally draw in the line, and exhausted, he dropped the fish onto the dock. It was a huge cod. He had never seen a codfish so large in his life. Suddenly, to his surprise, the fish spoke to him.
Please do not harm me, for I am not a real fish, but an enchanted prince. Please put me back in the water and let me go so I should not die.
That fish is talking. Right. I guess when I dropped that anchor on my head last week, I must have jawed something loose.
No, it was me. I am really talking. Please put me back in the water.
Don't worry, said the fisherman. I don't want to have anything to do with a fish that can talk, so you can swim away wherever you like. The grateful fish looked at the fisherman and said,
You are very kind, and I will not forget you, or I am not the great CODfather of the deep.
And after saying that, the codfish dove straight from the dock to the bottom of the sea. I think maybe I've been out in the sun too long. Talking fish, blimey. Why, I never. When the fisherman went home to his wife in their cold and damp little hut, he told her of the great codfish and how it had told him it was really an enchanted prince, and that when he heard it talking, he had let it go again.
Didn't you ask for anything?
Asked the wife. No, what should I have asked for? Said the fisherman.
Well, let's see. We have no money, very little food. Our hut is cold and damp, and little. Should I go on? Surely you see how miserable we are here.
Well, yes, I do. And please don't call me Shirley. Tell me, wife, what do you suggest that I do? The fisherman asked.
You go back to that so-called CODfather of the deep and ask it for a cozy cottage.
As you wish, me dear.
Oh, and don't forget to take the garbage out on your way.
Yes, me pet. The fisherman sighed, for he did not want to go to the fish, but he knew if he didn't, his wife would just go on and on. So he took out the garbage as his wife had asked and went back down to the sea. When he got there, the sun was hot in the sky. It made the water look all yellow and green. He stood at the water's edge and he said, Oh, great fish, come here to me. I say, and grant my wife her wish before the end of the day. Then the fish came swimming to him from the bottom of the sea. He looked at the fisherman and said,
If it isn't my friend the fisherman. Hey, you don't have any sunblock on you, do you? These UV rays are pretty intense today, even underwater.
Sorry, chap.
No problem. If only I were a sunfish. They'd eat this stuff up.
I've come hoping to ask you for a favor.
What is it that you want, Mr. Fisherman?
My wife says that when I caught you, I ought to have asked you for something before I let you go again. She doesn't like living in our cold, damp hut and wants a cozy cottage.
Go home then, for she is in the cottage already.
So the fisherman went home and saw his wife standing at the door of the cottage.
Come in. Isn't this much better than the hut?
Then the wife showed the fisherman a sitting room and a bedroom and a kitchen. She showed him a little garden behind the cottage with all sorts of flowers and fruits and a courtyard full of ducks and chickens. Well, how happy we'll be now, declared the fisherman. All the wife could say was,
We'll see.
Everything went well for about 1 month, but then one day, while the fisherman was anchored in the bay, he heard his wife call to him from the shore.
Castle!
She shouted. Castle? What is it, wife? He shouted back.
It's a large stone building, a lot of rooms, but that's not important right now. What is important, that's where I would very much like to live, for our cottage is too small. Go see the codfish right away.
The fisherman shook his head. He called back to his spouse. Wife, I don't want to go back to that fish again. I don't want to make him angry, and besides, I'm very happy with our cottage. This angered his wife.
Oh, nonsense. He'll be glad to do it. So go along and try. Now!
Yes, dear. The fisherman rowed closer to shore, to the spot where he'd caught the codfish, but his heart was very heavy. The sea looked blue and gloomy, though it was quite calm, and he drifted to the spot and said, "Oh, great fish, come here to me, I say, and grant my wife a wish before the end of the day." Slowly the fish appeared at the surface.
Well, if it isn't my friend the fisherman, back again. Tell me what it is that your wife wants now.
Well, I'm afraid she wants to live in a large stone castle. The great codfish sighed.
Go home then,
The fish ordered.
Your wife is standing at the door of your very large stone castle already.
So away went the fisherman and found his wife standing at the entrance to a great castle. She said,
Look, isn't this grand?
"It's beautiful, yeah, but what does it look like inside? How do you lower the drawbridge thingamalobby?"
Here's the remote opener.
The fisherman aimed the remote opener at the drawbridge and pressed the button. Nothing. I hate remotes. I can never get 'em to work right. Ever since I had that cheap pacemaker put in. Remember the last garage door opener? Every time I used it, my left arm would go up and down. It was the weirdest thing.
Before we panic, check the batteries.
Batteries? What batteries? There aren't any batteries. The two of them put new batteries in the remote, lowered the drawbridge, and went into the castle. There they found a great many servants, and all the rooms were richly furnished and full of chairs and tables made of gold. Behind the castle was a garden and a forest half a mile long, full of sheep and goats, and in the courtyard there were stables and cow-houses. "Well," said the fisherman, "how happy we'll be in this beautiful castle for the rest of our lives."
Perhaps.
Said the wife.
But let's sleep on it before we make up our minds.
And so they went to bed. But the very next morning, when the fisherman's wife woke up, she nudged him with her elbow and said,
Get up, husband, and stir yourself, for I must be king of all the land.
"King? Wife, that's impossible. You can't be a king. The codfish can't do that. He can't make you a king."
Husband,
The wife began.
don't say another word. Just go and ask the fish. Don't delay, husband, for I will be king.
"If you insist, my dearest."
Husband,
"Yes, my pudding?"
the garbage.
"Yes, dear." The fisherman went down to the sea once more upset to think that his wife should want to be king. "That's not what I'm so upset about." "Then what is it, fisherman?" "It's all this garbage. Where's it always coming from anyway? Blimey!" "I see. Well, I'm a little upset about the wife and the king thing, too. Sorry to interrupt the story. Go on, continue, narrator." Yes. Anyway, the fisherman returned to the sea and found the water was a dark gray color and covered with foam as he cried out, "Oh, fish, great fish, come here to me, I say, and grant my wife her wish before the end of the day." Once again the fish appeared.
Well, what does she want now?
"Oh, alas, great fish, she wants to be the king." Again the great codfish sighed.
You have come to me with yet another wish that I shall grant. Go home, because she is king already.
So the fisherman went home, and as he came close to the castle, he saw a troop of soldiers and heard the sound of drums and trumpets. Then he saw his wife sitting on a throne of gold and diamonds, with a golden crown on her head, and 6 beautiful ladies-in-waiting at her side. "Well, wife, you're the king."
Yes, I am the king. But surely you can see that I'm still not content.
"Yes, I can see that, my dear. And please stop calling me Shirley. My name is Lemuel." "Lemuel, can you say it? Just say it."
That's not what Oh, all right. Lemuel.
"Anyway, I don't know about you, my fine wife, but I think it would be a fine thing to be the king. Now we shall never have to want or wish for anything else."
We'll see. Never is a long time. I'm king, it is true, but I'm already getting tired of it. In fact, I think I would rather be emperor.
"Oh, my wife," groaned the fisherman. "Why do you wish to be emperor?"
Husband, just go to the fish and say that I will be emperor.
The poor fisherman was about to tell his wife no when she said,
Listen to me. I am king of all the land, and you are my servant. Do as I say, and go to the codfish at once. And husband...
I know. The garbage." So the fisherman went, but he muttered as he went along, "This will come of no good. It's too much to ask. The codfish will be tired at last, and then we shall be sorry for what we have done." He soon arrived at the sea. The water was black and muddy, and a mighty wind blew over it. The fisherman went to the shore and said, "Oh, fish, great fish, come here to me, I say, and grant my wife a wish before the end of this day." Once again the codfish appeared at the surface.
Now what does she want?
"Well, now she wants to be the emperor, she does."
Go home, she is emperor already.
So he went home again, and as he came near, he saw his wife sitting on a very tall throne with a very tall crown on her head, and on each side of her stood guards and servants in a row. Kneeling in front of her were the princes and dukes of the empire. The fisherman went up to her and said, "Wife, are you the emperor?"
Yes, I am emperor.
"What a fine thing it must be to be emperor. Now you should be truly happy."
Perhaps. I will think about it.
That night the fisherman's wife did not sleep. The bright moon shone brightly over her empire, and at daybreak the morning sun rose and shone directly into her chambers.
What is the meaning of this? I am emperor, but I cannot stop the sun from rising or the moon from shining brightly in the night sky.
At the thought of this, the wife became very angry.
Husband, go to the codfish and tell him I am upset by the sun and the moon.
"The sun and the moon? What is it?"
They are large, round, bright objects in the sky. But that's not important right now. What is important right now is that I wish to control them.
"Oh, wife, that is not your work to do. Can't you just be content to be the emperor of the land?"
No, I am annoyed and cannot bear to see the sun and moon rise without my permission. Go to the fish at once, I command you. And don't forget to take out the garbage.
"The garbage. Yes, I know, my dear, I will." Again the fisherman went, this time trembling with fear, and as he made his way to the shore, a dreadful storm arose. Trees shook, rocks shook, the skies grew black, and lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. In the sea, black waves rolled and reared up like mountains with a white crown of foam on them. The fisherman shouted to be heard above the noise. "Oh, great fish, come here to me, I say, and grant my wife her wish before the end of the day." The fish appeared on the rolling surface of the sea.
What is it now?
Asked the fish. "Oh, my wife wishes to control the sun and the moon."
Now you again come to me. After all I have done for you, and you ask me to give your wife the power to control the sun and the moon. Yet you do not offer me friendship. You don't show me any respect. You have never once invited me or my family to any of the new homes that I have provided for you. You don't even call me CODfather. What is it that I have done to offend you? I think this is one request I am going to have to refuse. And you and your wife will have to learn the valuable lesson. Go home to your original home, the cold, damp little hut.
With that, the codfish vanished from sight, and the storm stopped. Sadly, the fisherman went back to his hut, where he and his wife lived to this very day. And of course, the moral of the story? Let's say, never talk to large, strange fish, maybe? No, I think it has something to do with finding happiness in the things and people around you. Spoken like a man who has never talked to a large, strange fish. And that's the end. This is Dan Geiger. Thanks to Tony Lee as the CODfather and Susan Hill as the wife. All right.
The wonderful things about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of springs. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. The wonderful things about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful chaps. Get loaded with vim and with finger, it must to live in your lap. They jumpy, pumpy, clumpy, clumpy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Tiggers are cuddly fellas, Tiggers are roughly sweet. Everyone else is jealous, and that's why I repeat. Oh, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of string. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Tigger's a cuddly fellas. Tigger's are awfully sweet. Everyone else is jealous, and that's why I repeat. Oh, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made of the rubber, the bottoms are made of the spring. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.